Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here in Southeast Asia. Wherever you are on the globe, especially on the continent of Africa. Yes, my dear friends in Africa, I'm excited, I'm glad. Very great Saturday morning to you guys all out there. In Europe, in America, Canada. Look, guys, I really appreciate you all for all your comments that are coming in. Both the positive ones and the negative ones. You know, even the negative ones, the ones that seems like negative, they are actually positives. I see them as positives. You know, it's only when you criticize that I can correct things. Yeah, I don't expect everyone on this platform to love me or to like me or the way I do things. No, let the negative ones also come in. It's a way of correcting us, dear friends. So I appreciate your comments. I only want to plead, let your comments come without insult. Yeah, you want to correct us, you can correct us in a very lively way. I appreciate you guys all out there. And on that note, as a matter of fact, I think let me just give a shout out. Let me just give a shout out to a few people before I start tonight, this very morning. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. You know, so much has taken place on the front of Chelsea, and this very hour, we are going to go deep and talk about one particular player that has been in the news throughout. Last night, I was supposed to come your way, but I purposely waited until this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And I also want to announce that our TikTok is finally ready, yeah, where you can receive short notes, short videos. Those ones are going to be breaking news. Anytime there's a breaking news, I'll quickly post it on the TikTok. Anytime you're looking for me, you can't get me on the main videos on the YouTube. Go to the TikTok and you will have me there. Right now, it is the same name, Selom's Blog on TikTok. Selom's Blog. If you're on this channel, you know the name already. Selom's Blog on TikTok. Just go to TikTok, Selom's Blog. You see it right there. And subscribe. Yes. Subscribe and share. We want to make sure that our TikTok channel go viral. Within a week, we should be hitting 1,000 subscribers. Yes, I'm serious about it. So help us to grow the TikTok channel as well. It's Selom's Blog. Quickly, big shout out to this one said, good morning, Mr. Selom. Thanks for the update news. Keep going. Work up Chelsea for us. Looks Rider from Zambia. Up Chelsea. Bring Osimhen for us. Thanks. Well. This past few days, Osimhen news is a bit low. Yeah, I believe between now and next week, Tuesday, we should be getting a big news on Osimhen front. Even though there is a hint of Arsenal coming in. I'll get to that in my next episode, dear friends. All right. That's from Lux Rider from Zambia. Big shout out to you out there, Lux Rider from Zambia. This one said, I want Gallagher to stay and walk away as a free agent. You want Gallagher to stay and walk away next season as a free agent. All right. Your name is not here. Please, let us have your name. Let us have your name. And the same thing says, Chelsea FC sporting directors need to finish Osimhen's deal before Arsenal and PSG jumps into it, because Osimhen is a different profile altogether, and we have advantage against our opponent. I agree with you perfectly, and like I said, there is a news from Arsenal side, Arsenal FC, and I'll be bringing in the next episode, not this very episode, dear friends. This one says from Chris Williams, my brother out there, Chris Williams, he said Chelsea really need Oscar Bob. Yes, Oscar Bob, the winger. If we need him, honestly, we need a winger, because unless Noni Madueke has to improve on his finishing. His last, he is a great guy. I love him, but his final decision making, that is all we have. The problem we are having. By the way, Oscar Bob coming in could be a backup also. Both of them, they can compete and it might help. Big shout out to you out there, Chris Williams. All right, dear friend. Quickly, let's get started. Let's get started on this note. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Chelsea have informed Conor Gallagher he is no longer part of the first team group and will not be training with the first team when they return from their tour of the United States. When I received this news yesterday, I purposely did not want to come up online and talk about it so much. For a reason. Why? What is the reason? Dear friends, the reason is very simple. There are conflicting reports coming out from the UK. Top journalists are still getting it wrong. Top journalists that we normally do expect them to deliver and news that is authentic, they are still getting it wrong. This news of Conor Gallagher, he's no longer part of the first team group and will not be training with the first team when they return from their tour of the United States. Dear friends, this was the first one that came up. Then we now heard another one. Within the same period, Chelsea are locked in talks with Galaga as Messi situation plays out in London. Gallagher has informed the club today at Cobham he is open to signing a new long-term contract, similar to those signed by his teammates. The same time, we are receiving this also from London. Ladies and gentlemen, from top journalists in the UK, the people that we expect to deliver authentic news that we can break to you. Now, another one came up again. He said, Gallagher won't be banished. Gallagher won't be banished. It's just an empty threat. Chelsea can't afford fans' unrest this season. They are just scared of losing £40 million transfer fee and wages. They should be begging Conor to have Messi. This is coming from another. This one did not refer to any source. It is his own, statement that Gallagher can never be banished, which in a way I will agree with him. Now let's move on. Another one says, will Gallagher be allowed to train with the first team if he stays? In a question mark. At the moment, this is the coach Enzo Maresca answering questions at the press conference yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, today being our match day, our coach was at the presser last night, and one of the questions that he was asked, in fact, he was asked about Conor Gallagher 3 times, and this is what he has to say. He was asked, will Gallagher be allowed to train with the first team if he stays? And our coach replied, Maresca said, at the moment, there is not any update on that. The only thing I can say is that he was in contact with the club to find a solution. I don't think it's something new. In football, every summer, different clubs have some problems with some players, and then at the end, they find a solution and everyone is happy. Hopefully, the same can happen this situation. The same can happen in this situation. This is coming from our head coach, Enzo Maresca, regarding Conor Gallagher. What does this mean? Now, if you put all these statements together and you ask yourself, what at all is happening there at Cobham? Upstairs there, the people who are making the decisions for Chelsea Football Club. What is happening out there? Why is it that the issues, the news that is coming out from Cobham doesn't seem good? Ladies and gentlemen, Conor Gallagher went for a meeting at Cobham yesterday. He has been banished from the Chelsea first team. He will not be allowed to use the first team building, nor train with the first team. Now, get it from me. You see, TalkSport reported it this way. He said Conor Gallagher remains open to signing a new long-term deal at Chelsea to bring him in line with the club's other midfielders. He was spotted at club's Cobham training ground. The same training ground that they said he is not allowed to go. He was spotted at the training ground that yesterday morning. Dear friends, okay. What is the problem here? Now let's get to the problem. Let's get to the problem. What is the actual problem? Ben Jacob, he is a Chelsea insider, Chelsea sports insider. He is always there to receive news. Ben Jacobs get news from Nisa Kinzela, Fabrizio Romano. If honestly, these are my sources of news. Now, he reported, he said Chelsea have told Conor Gallagher he will only be a squad player if he stays at the club. He will only be a squad player if he stays at the club. Now, this statement from Ben Jacob and the ones that have been reported that Gallagher has been banned from first team facilities, first team training ground. How will you be a squad player if you are not allowed to go to the training ground? You are not allowed to train with the first team. You are not allowed to use the first team facilities. How then will you be a squad player? He said it's also why Chelsea only offered Gallagher 2+1 contract, 2 years contract extension plus 1 optional, which was rejected on Wednesday. This offer was rejected by Gallagher on Wednesday. Why? There is a reason why, and I'll come to that. And it's not the first time. The same offer was presented to him in June and he rejected it. You see, some of us, we are very passionate about Gallagher's situation. There are concerns Enzo Maresca's high possession system might not suit Gallagher, and he may not get as many starts. He may not get as many starts as last season. Chelsea believe it will be a mistake in football and financial terms to offer Gallagher a long-term contract, and doing so could also jeopardize his England chances for the 2026 World Cup. Atletico Madrid's offer remains on the table. Understand they want an answer from Gallagher by Monday, next Monday. Okay, dear friends, this is where the problem is. Chelsea, if you look at it carefully, they are actually not looking only at Gallagher staying or not staying. They are looking at Gallagher's future. They see Gallagher as a player that does not deserve to be on the bench. They are seeing him as a player that deserves to be playing regularly. Why? Because they are looking at him as an England international. He has been part of the just ended Euros 2024. And as England international, they are looking at like, Gallagher in the future, the World Cup coming up, he might still have a role. He'll be desirous to go and play in England. And so if they are keeping him in Chelsea and he's just a squad player simply means when players are injured and there's no option, they'll use you. Otherwise, you'll always be on the bench. Or sometimes you might be asked to play with the under 23s. That's the reserve team until your services are needed. When the team is traveling, maybe outside the country for a conference league, you might not be part of it because they have a limited number of players they can travel with. So, Chelsea board and the sporting directors, probably they are looking at all these situations and they feel Gallagher deserves more than that. But then, he doesn't fit into Enzo Maresca's system as a high possession system football. They feel that Gallagher does not fit into Enzo Maresca's system. And so if they allow him to stay, he might not have the opportunity that he deserved. Last season, he was our best player. In fact, second best, if not for Cole Palmer. I would say he's the best last season for us. Yes, and he captained us throughout. Rhys James was never present. Ben Chua was never present. He took the armband and he led by example. So the club is looking at a situation where keeping him on the bench, not making use of him regularly, will not be the best for the player himself. So they felt like, okay, in this case, we are giving you 2+1 contract to make room for further negotiations. 2 years extension plus additional 1 year offer. Within that extension period, within that 2 years, if you fit into the squad and all things being equal, we might extend it again. It's very possible to the third year. Otherwise, within that period also, we can receive a better offer. Because that 2 years means that 2026 is the World Cup. Gallagher will have enough time to prove himself or get a better offer from a different club. Now, Gallagher turned down these offers. He preferred a longer term contract. He is desirous to fight for his position in the squad. He is an academy player. He knows very well that if he leaves the club now, the legendary status that he has been wishing himself as a child growing up, I want to be a Chelsea legend. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is the issue. He's been giving all his best from his tender ages to Chelsea. He sacrificed throughout the period. The under 18, the under 23, the reserve team, until the first team. And that is why he's finding it difficult to leave. But trust me, the system that Chelsea want to play, the sporting director, they are seeing it like Gallagher does not fit into the system, and they don't want him to be wasted on the bench when there's a World Cup and other tournament that England, he is an England international. Ladies and gentlemen, now, personally, I understand the player's position, and I want us to reconsider the position of the Chelsea, ownership also, and the sporting directors. Financially, he will not be benefiting the club. And at the same time, in footballing level, it will not benefit Gallagher if he's on the bench, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where Gallagher's situation is right now. To the extent that Aston Villa even brought in a better offer for Chelsea. But Chelsea rejected that offer because they don't want to sell to a direct rival. They don't want to sell Gallagher because they know Gallagher's strength. They don't want to sell Gallagher to a direct opponent. They now decided Atletico Madrid is offering only £33 million, and Chelsea are willing to let go Gallagher for that cheap £33 million. Far below the market price for Gallagher. For you to know the decision of the board, the reasons behind why they are so desperate to let Gallagher go. In financial terms, it doesn't help the club. In footballing terms, it doesn't help the player. Ladies and gentlemen, because you ask yourself, how on earth will Chelsea be willing to sell Gallagher for £33 million? When Aston Villa actually came in with about £45 million in June. Now, the player has been asked to make a decision whether to go to Atletico Madrid. And that decision, Gallagher has to make that decision between now and Monday. Otherwise, according to the report we have received, Gallagher will have to accept the fact to be a squad player. If he is to stay between now and next summer, he will be a free agent, meaning that by December, January, Gallagher can decide to negotiate with other interested clubs who are already waiting, especially the Premier League. At that point, Chelsea can no longer stop them. Chelsea cannot stop him from going to any Premier League club. He can decide to go to any club in England at that moment. This is what Chelsea want to avoid. This is why they are so desperate. This is why they are threatening him with a ban from using the first team facilities. That is why the news of Gallagher will no longer be part of the first team, those are just threats for the player to make the move to Atletico Madrid. Because they are seeing it that if they don't do that right now, by January, Gallagher can secure a deal with any Premier League club which will go against them. At the end of the day, meaning they will not receive a penny. Chelsea are going to lose even a penny. They will not even get a penny from the transfer. If he becomes a free agent from January, and so any negotiation with any club, you can tell, okay, give me £20 million, I'll sign for you. Give me £10 million, I'm a free agent. Yeah, I am an agent. That's a great deal. And that is the direction I want Gallagher to take. Oh yes. After all, he's not the first person to do it. Rudiger. And this is one of the reasons why Chelsea want to avoid that. Rudiger did the same thing. He left as a free agent to Real Madrid. And today he's their best, in fact, if not the best defender in Europe right now, Rudiger. Yes, this is where Chelsea want to avoid that kind of scenario. Ladies and gentlemen, before I let you go this morning, it is your breakfast. I want to show you Gallagher's performances last season. Why it annoys me the way we really want to push him out. It looks like, personally, I said it yesterday, this season or upcoming season, Chelsea are in 5 different competitions. 5 different competitions. We are in the Premier League. We are going to be playing the FA Cup. We are going to play the League Cup. We're going to play in the Conference League. We're going to play in the Club World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, and all these games, they cannot tell me that there's no space in the squad. If there's a space for Badasheli, if there's a space for Badasheli, if there's a space in this squad, for who? I mean, how can you tell me that the squad cannot contain our captain? The most consistent player last season, Gallagher for Chelsea during the 2023-2024 Premier League campaign, most touches for foot in Chelsea squad, 2,603 touches. Most possession won, 222. He won the most possession within the Chelsea setup last season. Most duels won, 212 duels won. Most fouls conceded, 83. Most fouls won, 64. Most interceptions in Chelsea squad throughout the season last season. Most interceptions, 43. No, that is second most chances created, 53. Second most big chances created, 11. Second most assists, 7. It looks like he has played his last game for Chelsea last season because he gave it all. He gave it all. Dear friend, you can see it right there on your screen. The statistics can speak for itself. It can speak for itself. Well, I'll have to end it here. My time is up. And I'll have to let you know, as a Chelsea fan, we will have to be careful as fans and as supporters. Our club is no longer the club that we know. The identity of Chelsea, we are beginning to lose our identity, our DNA. Gallagher is an academy player. He is a player that has the badge. You see, have the badge in his heart. His entire family, Chelsea's, Gallagher's entire family have been die-hard Chelsea fans. It is not just like Gallagher want to play for Chelsea. He is not a player we brought from outside. From the age of 7, 8, he's been part of the squad. I mean, Chelsea Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly give you some shout-outs. Remember, today, Chelsea, Man City. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back and give you more details on or more explosives in the coming hours to come. But quickly, big shout out to this one says Ifeanyi from Lagos. Up Chelsea, I can't wait for the season to start. Up Chelsea for life. This is coming from Ifeanyi, Lagos State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you out there, Ifeanyi, Lagos State, Nigeria. All right, this is coming from Rodrigue Fury from Malawi. The new goalkeeper looks so sharp and can be our number 1 with Kenyan Dewsbury Hall, Disasi, Fofana, James, and Malogusto. The defense will be solid. Big shout out to you out there, Rodrigue Fury from Malawi. Big shout out to you all out there. Good morning, and big shout out to you out there, Rodrigue Fury from Malawi. All right. This one says Madueke must learn how to use both feet. All right, coming from Richie Nkoko. Richie, I can't see your name very clearly. Your name is not. I'm trying to read from your mail, from your email. But anyway, big shout out to you out there. And this one says Sadiq Adeleke. He said, I'm not happy because you omitted my comments in the last 2 episodes. I'm no longer interested to say anything again. I come in peace. Thank you. Sadiq Adeleke. forgive me. You are always with me. So, we are having new friends and you are a big boy. Continue to be your big boy. I appreciate you, Sadiq Adeleke. Share the video, like the video, and let me hear from you in the comment section once again. Sadiq Adeleke. Big shout out to you and very good morning to you, Sadiq Adeleke. Look, you are my friend, okay? Never mind me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let me leave it here for now. I'll be back in the next 2 hours for more exclusives in the coming hours. See you when you see me, dear friends. Shalom and peace.